Scientists made a shocking solution on how to travel faster than light. In this video, we will be looking at the shocking solution that scientists have discovered which relates to enabling us to travel faster than the speed of light. Therefore, keep watching the video until the end to know more. The world has achieved many scientific milestones that once were considered impossible, and that is primarily because every era has some possibilities and at the same time constrains the world from certain things. Because just imagine yourself, had anyone a century back thought of traveling to space, locating places through the GPS, or maybe landing on the Martian surface? Absolutely not. That is not because it was impossible. Had it been impossible, then how did the Curiosity rover land on Mars today? It was certainly not impossible, and that's because those times had their own constraints, which compel people to believe in only some things to be possible. But over time, as technology evolved and got refined, some secrets and mysteries were unraveled and aided in the success of certain experiments, which made those things possible today. Just like that, today's era has its own constraints, and one of the biggest constraints of the scientific world today is that no object can travel at the speed of light. But as mentioned earlier, certain researches and experiments navigate us to making things possible, and in this video, we will be looking at the shocking solution that will enable us to travel at the speed of light. In days of old, when nights were bold, then light was considered the fastest thing in the universe. Well, it is still considered that way today, but things have slightly changed too. In the old times, it was firmly believed that light had an infinite speed, which suggests that it could travel any distance instantaneously, which seemed to be the belief until Galileo Galilei came to contradict the ideology. He was the first scientist to have conducted an experiment in which he attempted to work out the speed of light. His experiment involved two lanterns being held a distance apart, and finding the time it took for the light of the lantern to travel a known distance to the observers on the other end. However, the distance involved in his experiment was too less to measure the speed of light, as the light traveled just too fast. However, in 1676, Danish astronomer Ole Romer was able to prove that light traveled at a finite speed. He studied the eclipses of the moons of Jupiter and suggested that the eclipses occurred quickly when Earth was closer to Jupiter. However, it took time for the eclipses when the Earth was far. And this difference in the times was actually the fact that light traveled at a finite speed and took greater time to reach us when Earth was far from Jupiter. Over the years, many experiments were conducted in an attempt to comprehensively understand the motion and speed of light, and many astronomers kept refining the idea until the 1920s. When it was officially calculated after complex experiments that light traveled at a fixed speed through a vacuum, which was around 300 million meters per second. This means that if an object travels at this speed, it could circle the Earth's equator 7.5 times in a single second. While the discovery of the speed of light occurred quite a while back, it is highly unlikely that traveling at the speed of light will be possible anytime soon. That's because to accelerate an object to the speed of light requires such high amounts of energy that are not possible to attain in this era. Therefore, humanity will have to wait for centuries until such advanced technology is invented that enables all this, and we may possibly travel at the speed of light. However, once traveling at the speed of light will be possible, many other amazingly incredible theories will be realized, such as time traveling. Therefore, light speed travel will greatly change the world. Although there is no logical or strong theory or method today that somehow makes it possible for us to travel at the speed of light, there is still one theory that, although inspired by a movie, however, is fairly logical. It is suggested that if space-time is bent somehow, two extremely distant points may come closer to one another, making long-distance travel possible in a matter of minutes, which will enable us to traverse unimaginably great distance within seconds, which will make us cover distances the way light does. This theory of warping spacetime does sound something logical. However, the question is, can we actually wrap spacetime? If so, then how? This is the point where scientists go blank today, considering that there is no such method of doing it today. We should only hope that one day traveling at the speed of light becomes possible. But the question is, what will it feel like swooshing across the cosmos at roughly 300 million meters per second? Well, things will actually be a little different. Although, it would be similar to how we travel in a fast-moving car, and the scenes in front of us swoosh past us as we get closer to them. However, at the speed of light, things will just be greatly exaggerated. The way the sight of racers is narrower, our sight will turn extremely narrow as we will move at the speed of light. Additionally, we will experience one of the most exciting unexperienced realities in the world, the time dilation effect. Confused about what that is? Let me tell you that time dilation is a theory that suggests that as an object accelerates closer to the speed of light, time begins to slow down for them. Under normal conditions, time passes at the rate of 1 hour per hour. However, as we will move closer to the speed of light, time will start to pass slower. This means that if you are on board a spacecraft traveling closer to the speed of light, you will be able to travel to and back from a distant planet and come back to discover that your few months were equivalent to decades on Earth. This way, time will have slowed down for you. Another interesting fact about traveling at the speed of light is suggested by the equation E = mc squared. This suggests that anything moving closer to the speed of light gains mass and becomes massive, which means that if you are on board a spacecraft and are traveling at or closer to the speed of light, you'll feel yourself as significantly more massive than normal. These all factors might sound abnormal to you at first, but remember, that's because traveling at the speed of light is nothing normal. It's an absolutely abnormal type of motion, considering that traveling at the speed of light or closer to it means that it is close to the universal speed limit, so things are bound to become abnormal. And I'm sure that some of you are all the more excited for this one-of-a-kind experience, but the question is, how fast can we actually move? Or more precisely, how fast have we traveled yet? Then let me tell you that you will be disappointed. That's because the world has done great things to invent fast and diligent machineries, which sounds pretty fast to us, but is not even a percentage closer to the speed of light. The fastest car ever manufactured is the Hennessy Venom GT, which tops out at 435 miles per hour. That's nothing. But that's because earthly objects have to be within safety nets. On the contrary, spacecrafts tend to have greater speeds, and that's because no matter how fast you go in space, you're never fast, and you need more speed. Therefore, spacecrafts are always the fastest objects humans ever manufacture. And with that being said, let me tell you that the fastest human-made object is the Parker Solar Probe, which was launched in 2018 with the purpose of exploring the outer corona of the Sun. This marvelous product of NASA can hit speeds of up to 692,000 kilometers per hour, which is actually really fast. But as I said that you'll be disappointed, this such high-speed spacecraft is only able to achieve 0.064% of the speed of light. That means we on Earth are far behind and will need unimaginable amounts and sources of energy to make such high-speed travels possible and explore the vast cosmos. While the warp drive theory does seem a possibility, bending the space-time brings its own set of challenges that are complex enough. So, it is unknown yet as to whether humanity will ever be able to travel at the speed of light or not. But one thing is certain, if light-speed travel is made possible, our lives will dramatically change, and more secrets of the cosmos will be uncovered for sure, which will be amazing. So, what do you think? Will all this be possible or not? Do you think that is bending space-time something possible, or it's just a fantasized concept of a movie that has no potential of being realized and that the speed of light will remain a universal speed limit? However, whatever the case is, light-speed travel will surely never be easy to accomplish, and will require extremely high-tech equipment to be possible, and only time will tell us whether it's possible or not. Until then, stay tuned to our channel by subscribing and ringing the bell icon for more updates regarding research being carried out relating to such topics and their updates. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below. See you next time. Until then.